Awesome. I'm excited. You guys will be excited on this one. We'll be doing some fun things, going over some passive income. So bear with me. We're going to get things rocking, do a few updates, get you excited. If you haven't already done so, you probably want to start generating some passive income. Let's just be honest. We'll jump in though. Some of these things I get excited for. So, shall we do it? About 5 seconds. Alrighty, well, let's dive in. What is up? Beautiful people. What's up? Everyone doing well? Doing great? Awesome. Guess what? We're going to cover some passive income. You excited? I'm excited. Let me turn on some music. Okay. So, in this specific section, I'm going to be covering some passive income. How I've done it. I mean, what we've created on the platform. I'll dive into some depths of it too. So you understand some systems and how they work. Okay? Some people like it, some people don't. Some people just, they don't care about what's been created. They just care about themselves and they want to say, I want to make money as fast as I can. Either way, if you care about passive income whatsoever, this live is probably for you. Okay? If you notice, I do these lives almost every single day. Okay? Every single day. So this way, there's a few things. I mean, I've done these lives. I mean, if you go back for probably years, right? I go back and I make sure that each and everything is documented, each and everything is tracked, and you probably saw it. You probably saw this whole platform be created. You probably saw some of the successes, some of the failures. You probably saw it all. Okay. Well, that being said, we're going to dive into some passive coolness. Okay. I got some music in the background to kind of give us that feel a little bit. I like it. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so we're hitting that mood. Okay. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the system, the passive income, how it actually works. So this way you understand it, you can see it. And I'll do it. I'll step back away from the perception because there's a perception that we create. This is for anything. So what I mean by the perception that we create, I want you to imagine for a second. Imagine you're driving down in the city. You're driving on this big city. You're driving down the road. You see this massive building, and then all of a sudden there's this logo right on the side of that building. And for some reason, it clicks in your mind that you think that that specific company, let's say it's Google or whatever the logo is on that building, that they own the entire building. This is called a perception. Most cases, they actually don't own the building. Not only that, they probably don't even own a floor. They're probably just renting out the sign, the space, because you can actually do that, right, on the side of the building. That is called a perception. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut through the perception a bit. I'm going to cut through our perception. I'm going to cut through the entire perception of passive income. What the frig is passive income? Does it actually exist? Is it just something these gurus say, or does it actually exist? Well, I can tell you, I've made over 400K doing it. So does it exist? Yes. Am I anyone special? I'm not. I promise you. I know people say, well, Kim, you're very smart. I'm really not. Once you get to know me, you'll probably be like, yeah, he's just an average Joe. Hopefully not. I tend to be smart, but that being said, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be smart to make passive income. You have to think in processing, right? And that's what this whole thing was done. So that being said, let's dive in. Okay, so first thing, I'm in GFunnel, right? Here's the perception. I'm showing you the perception of a platform, okay? Perception is you have a platform. The perception is you have all the applications that you would ever use. The perception is if you need more applications, you can click on more applications. And the perception is the applications are all there. Now, we're building tons of more stuff in here. So the first question is, why would I ever choose GFunnel as my vehicle to generate passive revenue? Here's why, okay? We get a lot of these software. So you see these software solutions? We get a lot of these software solutions, a lot of these ones, okay? And most cases, people have to pay for them. And when you pay, there is some type of an exchange of revenue. Anytime there's an exchange, that's revenue generated. Anytime there's an exchange of value, anytime there's an exchange of cash flow, anytime there's an exchange, there's a portion of revenue generated. And if you can get yourself into that portion, you can make income, you can make revenue. Okay, there's other ways of making revenue too, but we won't get into those. So we're going to focus on the passive sides. Okay, so now all we did is we just kind of organized, like, so this is the suite that we give people. It's the stack of software. Okay, it's the lead connectors, it's the diagrams, it's the ads platforms, it's the architecting software, it's the e-commerce platform, it's the project management suite, it's the contract hub, it's the flow, the voice chat, it's the recruiting software, it's the LinkedIn automation or LinkedIn marketing software. Okay, so we give them, Jeff, what is up, man? Hopefully you're doing freaking awesome. But this is in a sense what we give. So we create a stack of software, which normally people would pay for. And if you're like, I don't know if people would really pay for it, right? Like, let's just take a gander. So let's just say you go to Go High Level. We'll just call it gohighlevel.com. Let's just show it real quick. Gohighlevel.com. You start a 14-day trial, right? Oh my gosh, there's 2 million plus businesses powering it, right? And then the cost of it is, there you go. There's your cost. $100 a month or $300 a month. That's the cost. Okay. So now we know that, well, that one's, let's just say minimal, $100 a month. Let's go to Play. Let's just show you. Play.io. I'm just showing you really quick. So Play.io. Here we go. Here's just your starter plan is $147 a month. So now we're looking at $247 a month. That's what we're looking at so far. $247 a month. Okay. So we're at 2 applications. This one's free, actually. You can get it for free. Cool. So we'll just do this 3 applications since this isn't free, right? We'll just add it in, right? We'll call it 3, even though there's only 2. Okay. Actually, no, I won't do that because it messes up the math. Let's just do it this way. So we're looking at about $300 a month already. Okay. $350 a month to be rather exact. The next one, Architect. So Architect is Guru. Let's just go to Guru. Okay. Guru. It's a ClickFunnels software. And the pricing. Okay. You get this one. It's about another $70 a month, roughly, right? Roughly, $70 a month. Okay. So now you're roughly at 400-ish bucks per month, roughly, right? And I'm just, again, we only covered that. Now there's e-commerce. E-commerce is like Shopify. Shopify is like $30, $40 to $60, depending on what you add in. Okay, so now we're at like, let's just say $500 a month. Okay, then we jump into like a project management software. It could be $30 to $100 a month. Now we're at about like $550 to $600 a month, right? Then we go, let's just say DocuSign. Let's just say DocuSign. And I'm showing you these for a valid reason. Okay, there's software that is, I mean, there's, here, let me just delete that so we can grab pricing. So we're close to about $600 a month, right? Now let's just say here, send unlimited. Let's just say it's $50 per user, roughly. Okay, the other one you can have unlimited users. So let's just say you're a single person, 1 user. So we're about $530 to $540 a month. Okay. Okay, let's jump into voice AI. Most voice AIs you can do like Nedzo, right? Nedzo. In my opinion, it's a half-ass solution. That's just my opinion, right? That's just my opinion. Don't judge me. I've went through. Okay, no, judge me. I'll critique it. I went through their presentation and everything. This system runs on one single processor. It's good for surface level businesses, but once you dive deep, it sucks. Let's just be honest. But let's just pretend it's amazing. Let's just pretend it's amazing. You're at $100 a month, so you're at like $650-ish, right? $650-ish. Recruiting software, there's not really too many. A LinkedIn software, you can go into like There's a week and extra. Let's just say you're about $700 a month. Realistically, $700 a month, right? For those type of applications, would you use all of those? Most likely, yes. If you're running actually a business, you would. So let's just say you're around there, $700 a month. So what gFunnel does, and I'm just showing you what we do first here. This is my admin page. So let me just copy this. I'm going to come into a new user. Welcome new users. We have quite a few of them. I'll just do this one. I'm going to use your account. Alrighty. So again, we're comparing about $700 a month to $100. $100 covers all those things, right? So our goal is to save people money. That's the first goal. Okay, so now again, what I said in the very first is anytime there's a transaction that happens, there's revenue that is generated, passive revenue, right? So what we do is we have an affiliate program. If you notice, we share, we feel that it's like if you brought somebody in, it's kind of like we're partners. You leverage our resources, right? And we give you the tools and whatnot to build. And we do a partnership, 50%. So now you gain 50% of the revenue and you don't have to deal with all of the chaos bullcrap. And we cover the chaos and bullcrap, the customer service, the softwares and XYZ. And we help people save money. So now I get it. It's like, well, but that's not enough money. I'm only making $50 a month, right? I get it, right? There's of course more money to be made, but I'm just showing you there's recurring passive income, right? Somebody signs up with a business, they want more, 50% of that, you're making roughly about $150 a month reoccurring, okay? Most cases it is very stable, and I mean by stable is people use the software, they build their business around the software. When they build their business around the software, it becomes added to their operations. As long as they're in business, most cases they have operations. So as long as they're there, they gain a reoccurring commission, recurring revenue, recurring transactions that are happening over and over and over and over again, meaning reoccurring affiliate commission too. Make sense? Passive, we're looking at passive income, okay? So I'm just showing you those things. Now we're increasing our pricing. We are. The reason that we are is so people can, of course, find better value into it because we have a ton of value, right? But the next thing is because it pays out more commissions, right? And if you notice, a business plan gets up to 3 tiers of commissions, meaning, let's say you brought on a business brought in their employees, and then their employees decided to separate and build their own companies or XYZ, right? Well, technically that's the second generation. Now let's just say those employees built their business and the people within their business decided to separate and build their own business. That's your third generation. So three levels of commission coming in, okay? You can think of it like a multi-level marketing company. You can think of it that way. However, it is just affiliate commission. That's what it is, period, okay? It's affiliate commission. Now, how does this actually work, right? So we wanted to make it kind of seamless, kind of easy. That was the goal. So let me switch back. So I'm going to switch back to myself, boom, and I'm going to go back to my homepage, okay? So how we did it is we wanted to first cover the tracking. So we have this unique tracking ID that is everywhere in the site. And when I mean everywhere, it's like if I jumped in, let's say I jump into Learning Hub, right? This is my event coming up. Well, sure. I want to share with somebody one of the courses that I'm attending, right? It's everywhere. It's on all content, so I could jump into, gosh, I could write a note. I'll just show you. I could be in my tools and resources. So let's say I'm here and I write a note, and this note is to a specific business, or I share a business card. Let's say this is my business card and I share it, right? The link is connected everywhere. Everywhere on the entire site, the link's connected, okay? Everywhere. So each and everything is tracked, meaning every post is tracked and can be shared. And everything that's ever shared is connected to you. And then we put a cookie on it. So what a cookie is, just for kind of easy sake, it's something that you go into the cookie jar and you grab and you eat it, right? Chocolate chip no, I'm kidding. It's a tracking. It's something that basically connects to that person, user, and now they travel the web and they go do all of this crazy stuff. And then they come back and they create an account. Well, they are linked to you. That's an idea of what a cookie is, okay? Everywhere on our platform, we're planting cookies on this traffic. This now traffic is connected to you for 365 days because we feel that you get a year to convert these people into just a free account. Once they're converted into a free account, they're connected to you. Make sense? We feel that that's fair, okay? Even if we market them. So we do reoccurring marketing, like retargeting, call it, okay? Even if we do retargeting and bring people in, and we're the ones paying the money, right? Because you have to pay to retarget, and we're the ones paying the money. Well, if that person comes in, let's say they create an account, well, you get credit for that. Interesting, right? One of the next things that I'm working on is how do I make it even better to just kind of get people started down that passive income or get people started down that affiliate side. And for me, it's like, what if I just give them money? I know that sounds weird. You're like, Cam, you can't just give people money. You'll go bankrupt, right? That's one thing. Cam, you can't just do that. And it's like, well, what if I could be creative enough to be able to do that? So I'm working on a program right now that I can be creative where I can say, okay, how much money can I actually give somebody to get them started? Is it $10? Is it $50? Is it $100? Right? And I know that sounds just like, what? You're going to give people money to that doesn't make sense. Explain it, Cam. Explain it, Cam. Okay? Well, there is a cost of conversion. And if I can give that cost of conversion to our users, then the users can use it to empower themselves from it. It benefits us because at the end of the day, we want the users. We want users in our platform. At the end of the day, that's what we want. That's what we desire, right? So if we can give people, in a sense, an incentive to get started with passive income, maybe, just maybe, people will start doing, instead of just like, hey, we give you the tools, we give you resources, we give you those things, and people still twiddle their thumbs. Well, stepping back, PayPal did it actually pretty well. They said, hey, if you invite anybody in here, we're going to give you $10 that you can use into the system. So for me, it was just thinking, well, can I do the same thing? Can I give somebody some money to get started, and they can apply that money wherever they desire? If they want to apply it to their monthly, they can apply it to their monthly. If they want to apply it to check it out, they can apply it to check it out, right? So that's going to be done. I mean, long story short, it's going to be done. I'm going to do it in such a way that people can get rewarded, and do it in such a way that I can help promote people and get people to start growing. And the key is how do I do it in an affordable way that truly help people out? Okay, so again, making sure I have the math perfect, because you have to have it perfect on those type of things. My goal is between $10 to $100, right? It's probably going to be around $40, rough. Again, I don't know the exact math, but if I can do that, I can get people started into the platform and get people started utilizing passive income. They might just start getting that engine rocking. Once we have that engine rocking, it spreads like fire. Okay, that's the key. That's the goal, right? So now, how do we do that? Okay, how do we track it? How do we do this stuff? So I'm just going to show you some inners. Okay, so here's some inners. Okay, so currently I'm using just Podly for this. Now I use a lot of different solutions. Okay, the reason I'm using Podly specifically here versus Zapier versus this versus that, and maybe you don't even care, right? Maybe you're like, I don't care. But the big reason is the database. Okay, we have a SQL database. And what we need to do is anytime that there's a trigger, we need it to trigger in, grab the information, and do. Okay? And that's what this specific process does. We're going to add to it too, so that way we can add to our campaigns. But this one's just simple. Looks for a specific ID. If the specific ID is there, it creates a specific account. Okay? And that specific account is then created, and I'll show you kind of where. Okay? So this way, everything's already tracked. Everything's already, in a sense, working. Let me just see. Everything's already working, but the idea is, so let's say we're here in our partner portal. So the idea is when I look at recurring commissions, okay, and I'll show you. Let me just log in really quick. Log in. You like our new security? Kind of cool, right? So when I log in, I can then see every single one of my clicks. Of course, I can see it in the front end too, but I can see every single one of my clicks, right? I can see every single one of my people. But the key is to bring it into a point where it's like, we can truly have people make moolah. So this way, again, as soon as I walk in, let's just say I have 50 bucks here, $100 here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just created my account and I already made my first $50 online. The hardest thing is to make your first dollar online. Let's just say every single person does it. It encourages people, makes people feel good, makes people say, I can do this. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it rocking, right? And I have a little affiliate program that we're putting together. This way I can say, let me teach you how to do. So the first thing that somebody can do is they can come in, they can send it to their email, or they can email it to their friends, okay? And we're adding more and more stuff. That's one of the things that they can do, okay? Copy to, I need to add my share. I'm gonna add my share icons here. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so this way somebody can come in and post it on like Facebook or social media. Currently how we have it is like this. I'll show you. Pop this down. Currently I can press like share. I can click on Facebook, right? So let's say I'm clicking on Facebook, and then it'll create me an entire post based off of the post, right? It'll create me an entire post, and I can say, hey guys, I just joined XYZ. It's freaking awesome. You should join too. Easy way to get clicks. Easy way to start generating revenue. Okay. We'll also work on doing not only like an incentive or a bonus for people to come in, not only that, but we'll be working on quite a few things. So again, the key is how do we improve the passive income, right? Because our goal is to get members into the platform, get members to start using it. Because once they start using it, they can come in here, they can start engaging with their network. But one of the keys are finding the people that you love, right? Finding your network. Sometimes there's not your network in here. So we're going to be working on making it so we can get your entire network in here. Every single person within the system. All your leads, all your tools, everything, all your focus, all your news, everything within one system. That's what we're working on. Okay, working on different pieces. You can jump in and you can have, of course, have your community events. Jump in and say, oh my gosh, I want to have my communities all within here. Okay, quite a few other things that we're working on. Okay, so this way, if you notice, the AI keeps on popping up. I'll show you this too, in case you haven't seen. Can you verify you're this? I'm going to just go cam@gfunnel.com. Okay, let's just do it. Hello, how can I help you today? Yes, I need to create content for our new campaign. It is a campaign that promotes passive income. Okay, I'm just showing you. Well, anyways, what this guy's going to do, we have our AI that's again, it's functional. There you go. Great. Are you looking into specific things? So it'll talk to us. It's specifically there for people. It'll generate your content. It'll generate your pages. It'll generate tasks for you. It is a very awesome AI assistant we're always improving. But that way you can come in and test it. We call it Emma. It has this big long name, but just Emma for short. Emma's easy. Okay. But it's there. Okay. I'm not going to continue it. So let's break this down. Okay. So I kind of showed you the perception of it, right? Like, oh my gosh, like here's the skyscraper with the logo on the top. And oh my gosh, this is a big perception. Hey, well, let's transition. Let's break down the processes. Now, why do we break down processes? Because the goal is to perception hack. Perception hack. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so that being said, this is how I do it. So first thing, I'm going to click on here. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to just jump here and I'm going to jump into our MRR business model really quick, because this is one of the things that programs that we're going to be building. But the reason why is this is where I teach income, and this isn't just like, oh, this is Cam's idea. This is many people teach this. Many people. And this is like people such as Grant Cardone, right? I don't really like him, just be honest. I think he's a con man. I know that's live, but he is going through a lawsuit because of it, so I can say it, so it's not libel. So that being said, same thing with a lot of these other gurus, right? They teach something like this. So this information is pulled from multiple different sources, but I'll just show you really quick. This is how money works, okay? So you have your income. Let's say you're a consumer, you have $100, right? You transition $100 to one person. They need a product or something. They take that $100, they buy a product from another person. That person then has $100, but anyways, the $100 is just exchanged. So if you see, there's an exchange of the $100. But every time that it's exchanged, new revenue is generated, meaning I have 100, now I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I now have $600, right? $600 within this money cycle from 100. I 6x'd my money. And that's how the economy, you can look at the economy, that it is inflated because of something like this, okay? Well, there are certain portions of generating wealth. One of them is accumulation. It's getting small portions from each transaction. That's accumulation. There's compounding. Compounding is basically like getting a profit from an investment. And then there's wealth. Wealth is buying assets, right? It's getting assets. Those assets generate you more and more money. And then again, that funnels all the way back to you, right? So that's a simple money cycle, okay? But that being said, what I want to do is I want to jump into, I think we have some of this daily knowledge in XYZ. I want to jump into how passive income works, okay? So I'm going to go to the bottom, okay? So we're going to start right here. So there's a few different pieces that you need. And again, I'm just shooting it on here. This is not planned. This is not scripted. This is not anything. I'm just going to shoot it on here so you understand how it works. Okay, so first you need some type of a vehicle. Okay. So there's a vehicle, meaning somebody has a desired outcome. Okay. They might have a vehicle. That vehicle might have its own operation. We'll just connect it for easy sake. Okay. Operation. Okay. So the vehicle, and there's an operation, and then what they do is there's an avenue. So this specific, we'll call it a vehicle. This is like a business. The business does traffic. Okay. And what happens is that traffic comes in to this vehicle. Why it's a vehicle is because it can obtain something. Here, I'll do it easy like this. I'll do product, operation. I'll put a little square here around this for easy sake. This is in a sense the vehicle. Arrange to back. Okay, so we have this. There we go. Let me make sure those squares align. We have this specific thing. I'm going to actually make this a little bit bigger so I can add in vehicle. Okay, so now this company is what would be called a vehicle. Okay. What happens with this is they want traffic. There's an operation, and this operation comes in and generates a result. Okay. And now what they're doing, following that money piece, they are accumulating. So they're in the stage of accumulation. So what they're doing is they're gaining small portions. There's a byproduct, so there's a result. They're gaining small portions, so this is like we'll call it a byproduct. This byproduct is, and there's quite a few things that you can do. One of them might be money, one of them might be content, one of them might be XYZ. It's whatever you compound is the byproduct, okay? You can compound, again, I'll just put a few of them here. You could compound revenue. Revenue could be a byproduct, right? You could compound, let's say, content. Content could be a byproduct. Influence could be a byproduct. Power could be a byproduct. There's a bunch of different byproducts that can happen. This is how you scale your business. This byproduct is the most important probably thing to have in business. Like, of course, the operation is the fulfillment, but you can always like outsource those type of things. But the byproduct is, right? Because maybe this byproduct gives you back time, right? Maybe it gives you infrastructure. 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 I can spell. Okay, there we go. I can spell. I have to say it like 5 million times, right? We'll just call it structure. There we go. I like it. Okay, so it gives you structure. So maybe it does those things. If you notice, gfunnel it does all of those things. Time generated, structure generated, revenue generated, content generated, influence generated. There's a lot more that it does within the system. That's our byproduct. We focus on the byproduct, okay? Which any business should. If you're not focused on the byproduct, I mean, it's the difference between making maybe hundreds of millions or not. Whoops, let's just remove this because that's not working right. Alrighty, there we go. It's how you compound. So if you look at like what Alex Hormozi does, he has a crazy byproduct. Okay, the byproduct, like his book and stuff, generated him how many millions of dollars? These are byproducts. Okay, byproducts is a very valuable asset within business, and it's however you organize this byproduct. Okay, but let's just say this. So now, how does affiliate marketing actually work? So there's you, and you're the affiliate. Let's just say, okay. You're the affiliate, and what happens is you're driving in traffic to them, traffic that they would normally pay. Okay, they would normally pay marketing for, they would normally pay some type of a thing for. They have their operation and their byproducts done. Well, there's revenue that's here, okay, and then there's a split, usually, right? And it could be a one-time sale, it can be a whatever the case it is, but usually there's a split here. It's just the revenue byproduct, right? And maybe that split. Oh, that's weird, it's not popping up. Thank you, thing, for having a glitch. We're just gonna leave that on the screen. I have this little glitch pop up, okay? But anyways, there's a split here, and some of that split will go into like back to operational costs, right? So this split will come into like, I'll just bring it over here. Will come into maybe developing the product, right? The split would come into the operational cost. The split will come into, we'll call it the vehicle, right? That's where the split will mostly come into. And then some of that split can go into you, right? So this is now you. And then the other split, right, separates into margins. So now this would be like a margin, right? Like the company profits, now it's profitable margin, right? And there's other ones too, because you would have, of course, your taxes, right? So now there's your taxes. So for easy's sake, so now you can see this is the process of it. For easy's sake, you right here, and also I'll put, that's traffic, I'll put one more. I'll just put marketing. Okay, so that way you can kind of see that it's a few things that are happening. Okay, so the split can come into there. It can also come in over here. And now this is like, they use this as a positive loop to scale their business. Okay, does that make sense? So if I like zoom in, marketing goes into traffic, it goes into their business, right? Hopefully that makes sense, right? If you're an affiliate, you're driving traffic. You're kind of like a marketing avenue driving traffic. Well, when they go through their vehicle, they get the result and their byproduct, there's multiple byproducts. One of those byproducts is revenue. There's a split. And then that split, let me zoom out, can go to you as the affiliate. It can go to their future marketing, so future marketing efforts. It can go to their operations or their vehicle, meaning it covers their product. I'll just do product, not production. It goes into their product and their operations. See, so you can see where the revenue is splitting. Some of the revenue goes into their taxes, right? You can put it into margins, and then you can, of course, put it into like reinvestments. Okay? So now this is usually the process of a business. This is the flow of it. Okay? Turn that music down just a little bit. Does that make sense? I know I overcomplicated an easy system. I know. It's like, right? But I wanted to show you behind the scenes. I wanted to hack the perception and dive deeper into what exactly that piece is. So this is exactly what it is. So with us, this is what we do. You're an affiliate. There's links freaking everywhere. And then we have multiple products. We have a singular product. So if I'm in here, right, the singular product is when somebody comes in and wants to upgrade their account. This is the singular product, okay? That's the singular one. There's other ones too, because running a business, it's not just about, I have software. You need people to build out the software too. And either you're going to build that out or somebody's going to build that out. Well, if it is all in-house, anytime a transaction happens, there's profits, meaning it goes through that process that I just showed you, right? Well, either you're going to allow somebody else to do it and you're not going to get a reward for it, or you're going to allow somebody to do it and you're going to get their reward for it. Which one is it? It's better to get the reward because you're channeling your success. Make sense? The only other option is for you to do it yourself, which is great. You can do it yourself. So why we have this built is so if you decided to do it yourself, guess what? Here's all your applications to be able to fulfill it. So you can fulfill it yourself. Let's just say you don't want to fulfill it yourself, but you want somebody else. Now, here's the question. Do you want the reward or do you not want the reward? If the answer is I want the reward, it's like perfect. It's better to do it in-house. Now you can do it in-house within your own system, which is GFunnel. GFunnel becomes yours in a sense, and you can do it in-house and gain revenue off of that and gain margin off of that, right? That's called affiliate marketing. And then what we do is, of course, we add it in. Of course, we fulfill it. Of course, we do it within the software. But now guess what? You can have accesses. If they're your customers, you can have accesses and you can see the overviews of it. So it's as if you are the boss, we're your employees. Interesting, right? So jumping back. Okay? We empower you right here, not only to be an affiliate, but to kind of be, like, hear me out, to be the king of the kingdom. Does that make sense? We grab that power of the whole construction of everything and anything that we've built, all of those resources, and we give you the key. And we say, you're the king or queen, right? You're it. Here you go. That's the power of the system. It's not just an affiliate system. It's building your empire. Your empire. And if you're like, well, yeah, but GFunnel's not branded me. Think about it. Would you want it even branded you? If you're like, well, yeah, it's like, great. It's branded you. Great. Now you have competitors. Now you have this one. Now you have to say, well, I'm better. Is it easier to say, I'm better than you? Or is it easier to say, they're better than you? Or I know a partner that is better than that. There's a difference in value. People can trust you, can trust your opinion more. But literally, that's what this whole program does. It empowers you as not just the affiliate, but literally the king, right? You can call it the king of kings, but not, right? But it empowers you to be the king. It empowers you to be the queen. Now, why? Because everything based off of the value that you bring in is constructed and built to direct value directly back at you. And it's not only the revenue that is created, but it is all of these byproducts. Meaning, the stronger we get in our structure, what do you think happens? It empowers you. Does it empower other yous? Of course. It empowers all of us. The time, what does it do? It goes to you, right? The revenue splits, goes to you, right? The content we generate, guess what it does? It goes to you. The influence, guess what it does? It goes to you. Every aspect of this system is designed to push that byproduct, in a sense, to you. And not only to you, but for you. Again, I'll dive deeper. I'll show you. I'll dive so you can see, right? If you invest into your own kingdom, because this, in a sense, becomes your own kingdom. I'm going to pull up into a user. I'm going to go into upgrade. It becomes more than just a freaking affiliate. I'll just show you. You now own 50%. The content that's generated, the influence, the structure, all of these many byproducts that we generate off of each person, because again, our whole piece is compound, 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 loop, 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 compound, compound, compound. Everything empowers, if you notice, you. And we even cookie them because we figure a year is enough time for that value to truly be yours or not. Anything beyond that year, probably not. But I mean, if you touch them again, of course the value renews. It renews. It renews. Everything is now directed for you to have your own empire, for you to have your own system. That's G-Funnel. And we have dedicated assistants to help empower you. We have all the tools and resources to help empower you. We have the education needed to help empower you. Every aspect is designed to help and empower you. So let me ask you a question. Because again, business is three main pillars that you want. First pillar is your blueprint. It's your plan. Okay? You can find this in everything from religion, your plan of salvation. You can find this as building a house, your blueprint for construction. It's the same thing applies with business. It's your plan. It's your future. It's everything that, it's the outcome of what you have. That's your blueprint. The second pillar is your tool sets. They have the right tools. Third is your foundation. If we have a foundation that's always compounding in growing you, we meet the three. We meet the criteria. And if it is now your kingdom, we're in a sense building for you. All of the feedback that you have, we go into to construct it and make it better. The support you need, it's there. The softwares you need, they're there. The education that you want and desire, it's there. All of your content is reflected by you. I mean, literally, I jump in here. This is me. Let's just pretend this is me. This is my plan. This is my calendars. This is my dedicated assistant. This is I'm pretending I'm you, right? This is my timeline so I can see every note that either I've ever done for my clients, if you desire, or every note that I want to pass to people to share. You have a timeline dedicated for you, right? I'll show you something. So I'm just going to switch. If you want to do that, if you wanted other means of making revenue, I'll just show you. Here, let me just jump into Cam. If you wanted to say, you know what, I'm going to share content and I want people to subscribe. That's why we have our secret content right here. Remember the members only or subs only content. Well, people can come in and they can subscribe to this and they can pay you, right? Everything is designed to funnel that value to you. Everything in this platform. I mean, the videos, you need to do videos. Here's your video. You needed to do any of these things. It's all here, organized, specifically waiting for you. That's the platform. It's for you. Okay, so let me summarize. Let me step back. I've went over passive income. I went over how it works, right? It's basically you share something of value. Somebody finds that value and comes into play. We have tons of resources based on you to share that value. And I mean tons of resources based on that. Like if you're like, wait, do you really have tons of resources? Come on. You jump in our information. Let's just say you're like, oh, I'm already going to share a post about Alex Hormozi. This one's summarized for me and it's all of the video and content and everything already pre-done and organized for me. Yes, let's just share it. We've organized blogs for you. You can create your own blogs. Let's say you're sharing your own company, you can do that. You have your own marketplace. If you want to share your own marketplace items, you can of course do that. If you want it as a business card, of course you can do that, because people will look at you. They do. They'll judge a book by its cover. That you can invite them to see a timeline, let's just say. And now you have your timeline, you have your pictures, you have your images, you have everything that you're needed. Here, I'll just pop over mine so you can see. If I shared you, so let's just say I'm like, you know what? I'm going to share you a business card. This is what I would share you. My business card. If you want to contact me, you can contact me. If you want to video chat with me, you can video chat with me. Right? If you want to see what I've done, you can see what I've done. If you want to see what my goals are, you can see what my goals are. If you want to see where I'm located, you can see where I'm located. Right? If you want to schedule a meeting appointment with me, you can schedule a meeting appointment with me. All from one place. And not only that, I get them automatically connected to me. Not only that, they're cookied. Not only that, they create an account, I have their information. Make sense? And it works as an affiliate system. Whoa! Psh. This is the platform. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I'm not just saying it because I own it. I mean, if I was somebody else and I was referring it, of course you'd think of it different. You'd be like, oh, this is the best thing. Since it's me, since it's one of my creations, it's probably like, oh, I don't know, Cam. Which is weird. It's so weird, right? But the idea is, come in, create your account. If you don't know who I am, I'll share a link with you. I'll share an affiliate link. Ah! That shared the wrong. That's my whole graph. I didn't want to share the whole graph. But now you have the whole graph. Here, let me delete that. That was in the chat. Delete. Okay, I'll just grab this guy. Let me grab this one. Copy. I'll share a link with you. That link that I just shared it there. Let me share another link with you. That link that I just shared right there. Okay, that's a link to my profile. You can check me out. You can read me. You can read my posts. You can go to Cam, you have a weight loss goal. How are you doing? Right. Fasting a little bit here and there. We'll see. Right? You can see these type of things. You can connect with me. You can jump in, you can jump into some of the document that I have. You can jump in if you need some free softwares to get you rocking. Let me know. Right? That's what this whole thing is for. This whole thing is for you to come in, you to start playing around with it, right? Start learning the platform. But the main goal is for you to start creating for yourself. Because if you don't, this is what is going to happen. I'm going to share with you the future, okay? If you don't, okay? Here's the scare tactic, the future, right? If you don't start creating for yourself, nobody's going to do it for you. And if nobody does it for you, a few things are going to happen. Number one, you're not going to have legacy. You're not going to be here. When you pass on, no one's going to remember you. It's like they say in Troy, no one will remember your name. So the first thing is create so people can remember you. Can you do it on Facebook? Can you do it on those things? Yeah, but do you think they really care about you? No, they don't care about your creation, or they would have already created something similar. They don't care about that. They care about them. They care about their advertisers to bring the ads to you. That's what they care about, okay? So the first thing is create so you have legacy. Second thing, separate yourself from the slavery. Because if you're always working a 9-to-5 job and you can never separate, if you're always grinding and you can never separate, meaning you can never create the passive income, then you're never free. You can't go on a hunting trip. You can't go travel the world. You can't go do those things. You can't. Why? Because you have obligations to go back to work. You need to create passive income. That's how you separate. That's how you start freeing yourself. So you need to, again, number 2 is free yourself from the slavery of the world. Number 3, find purpose. You have a state of resonance that is stronger than anyone. You do, whether you believe it or not, you do. Okay? And if you're like, well, what do you mean by a state of resonance? I'll give you an example. I'll give you a big example. Let's call religion. Religion resonates with specific people. And its goal is to help save them. Right? That's a state of resonance, to connect with people, to give people a message, to get people to create, to get people to do X, Y, Z. It's a state of resonance. It's really good. Well, you as an individual also have that same power. You have the ability to influence. You have the ability to serve. You have the ability to help. Once you learn who you are, the creator that you are, right? That person that you are. If you're like, well, I'm not a creator. Literally, the skin cells that you have create themselves every like 30 days. Yes, you are definitely a creator. Even if you're sitting there not creating, your body's still creating. If you're, well, that's not true. How does your body build? You eat food. Like, come on. Come on. You're a creator, whether you think it or not. Now, the idea is to truly gain the purpose of creation. Who do you want to serve? Again, a lot of these people like Russell Brunson or like even Alex Hormozy or those people, they try to give you a state of resonance so you can serve people. Okay? Some of them don't. Some of them are selfish and want that desire of money. But the idea is they want to get you to that point of serving other people. So think of it. You have something deep inside of you that makes you resonate. Maybe it's a spiritual thing. You're a spiritual healer or some bull crap. No, I'm kidding. I won't. That's good. Maybe you're there to help empower people. Maybe you're there to help grow people. Maybe you're there to teach people hunting. Maybe you're there to teach people fishing. Maybe you're there to teach people how to do X, Y, Z. Regardless what it is. Okay? And I did a little laugh because saying regardless what it is, it doesn't matter. What matters is there's a state of resonance. And as long as you tie that state of resonance and that connection of service and creation, heck yeah, who am I to judge? Nobody. So why not be able to do that all within one platform? Because at the end of the day, you're going to need a website, right? You will. So why not build your website within here? You're going to need to run ads, so why not have your ads running within here? You're going to need probably documents, so why not have your documents coming from here? You're going to need to probably manage your projects. Probably. You're going to need to draw out stuff. You're probably going to need AI to help support you. You're probably going to need to simulate some things to make sure that you're doing them right. You're probably going to be needing to do a video teleprompter or something like that if you need a face. You're probably going to need to do some AI videos because you need faceless marketing. You're probably going to do those things. So why not do them all within GFunnel? Why question yourself and pay $700+ a month for all of these different little things to run your business? And why not just get it in one single subscription? Heck, start for free. At least you're starting. Take the first step. And then from there, gosh, we'll help you out. Jump in, right? Schedule a free discovery account with us. So you have an account, it's like, gosh, let's go through a blueprint session. It's free. Let's draw out what you desire. Let's get you started so that way you can begin creating and resonating with these people, because that's the true value. So that being said, as always, channel your success. My name's Cameron Garlick. I am here to assist and help you. But if you haven't already done so, gosh, create a free account. It's so easy.